Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range. And I'm happy to have you here today. Welcome. And I'd just like to say one little thing before we get started, and that is remember, this is a listener supported program, and I do need your help. And just like everybody is helping truckers, it helps to help each other so that we can continue this great information. And Mr. Drake Bailey, and he's who I have today as my guest. And we're live, and we'll take questions live. And so here we go. Welcome, Drake.
Hi, how you be?
I be good. How about you?
Oh, I'd be gooder than fine. Finer than frog hair, however you want to look at it.
So we'll do this like we've done before. People, if you want to ask questions, I will read the question and we'll answer the question. And we probably could give people a little time to get here. So in the meantime, just talk about whatever we want, or if you have some updates. Do you have any updates on anything in particular?
Yeah, I thought there was something pretty neat that happened just yesterday, and that was dealing with what we got going on here on the planet, not stuff upstairs. It was there was oh, let's see, how can I express this correctly? People seem to think they can do what they want to do. And I would imagine everybody's noticed the problems we got, and that's where they come from. Okay. Whoopi Goldberg has been a mainstay of The View forever. She's the main host. Well, she got suspended because she opened her big mouth, thought she could do anything she wanted, and said that the Jews wasn't worth squat, and that went the wrong way. And I just
She said, I
think
think
that
she's,
that's marvelous.
yeah, I think she said something to the extent that it wasn't about race or something like that. And
Well, I hate to beg to differ, but the Jewish race is targeted. So until she learns the facts that the Uyghurs ain't black and the Jews aren't considered black, and yet she can open her big mouth and say it's not about race. It's like she knows what she's talking about. Oops. Anyway, she got suspended for that, so I thought that was kind of nice in a lot of ways. And Jesse Waters came on Fox News with a new show, and his premiere show, yeah, the very first one he did, was greater in um, numbers on the ratings than all of the other opposing um, networks combined. CNN, MSNBC, all of them. So I thought that was very good. He did a really good show. He's continuing in the same way to do that. Most of the information you find on, like Fox News, etc., uh, is not really up to date, and it does not take into consideration the problems that we really face. Um, to give you an example and a clue to my show, which is coming on Saturday, but is very it's very succinct in terms of what the oligarchs, elites, ruling class has stipulated for everybody else. Let them eat cake. Was the quote. Okay. They people in all, and I mean all of the realms of existence here on this planet all have the same problem. The elites, the rich, the moneymakers have sway over how things go. That is due to change whenever ET decides to show up. I don't know when that's going to be, but I heard that I heard several things. One is that It'll happen somewhere before the 15th of this month, but it will happen this month. So when we transition, things change as I have explained. And Trudeau's in deep doo-doo. There's about 80% of the people in his country don't have much use for the boy.
It's small wonder that he went and ran and hid, basically. He went into
Yeah.
hiding. And then all of a sudden, he
Oh,
mysteriously comes up with the bug.
I'm going to visit my relatives in Timbuktu land. I'll see you later. And
Tested positive means that they've confessed and they're
he
taking a deal.
he should get a sexually transmitted disease. I see questions rolling by
It would
over
serve
here.
him right. Okay,
Uh,
let's see.
Great to be
Wait a minute.
live,
Let me get up
y'all.
there. Let me get my questions back to where they were, if I can.
Thrilled to find you both here
The
today.
first question. Okay.
And there's a question. Pud Whacker.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
guys.
that's
You do
the
better
one
than
I was
that.
looking for. He put up the first question. So anyway, the question for Drake is: can you tell us about the constant influx of energy many have been feeling lately?
Yes, I've been feeling it too.
Tell us.
What you're getting is the lead harmonic to the wave that's supposed to come in here and make the transition possible. Okay. Now, by that you can feel strange sensations like tingling, or it can even get us freaked out as how you shuffle across the floor and you touch the light switch and it goes boom, the whole world explodes. Yeah, well, that little shock that'd be about the worst, but I don't think very many people are going to experience that, but it's there. um, you're liable to feel like you're on a roller coaster, up, down, sideways, and whoo, and away you go, kind of thing. Any of the sensations you have ever felt in your life can be available with this. It affects each individual a little bit differently for the simple fact that we're different. And so that would be fun.
There have been energies on the planet, because I I was out in nature the other day, and I swear I was having feelings of bliss. I mean, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It would come and go, It would, I mean, I was feeling good the whole time, but every once in a while, it would be blissful moments that were just out of a wow, just a wonderful feeling.
Yeah. You get the thing is, everybody's going to experience it, like I said, differently because you're individuals. And that's the only reason. Individuals have an individuality that can't be ignored. Ah,
Then I had moments of having my emotions kind of close to the surface, as they say. So anyway, we can go on. Is Trudeau going?
oh, I got one. Yeah, well, I hope so. He's sort of like Joe Biden's son.
Well,
So
if you believe,
that's what I'm going to say about that. Everybody knows about that boy.
yeah. Well, they did say that he tested positive. So usually that means, if these codes are correct, it means that there's been a confession and there's been a deal made of some sort. So anyway,
See here, Jesse Denver,
question.
beautiful. Oh, they like your hair, Gail.
Thank you, Carol. That was very kind of you.
Now,
I work at it, believe me. But anyway,
Proud Texas Lady has a question. Did you see that?
let's get. Yes, I was going to just ask that one.
Cool.
Are there CMEs headed towards the Earth now?
Yes and no. There will be coronal mass ejections, but not of the type that everybody's used to seeing. In other words, it might not necessarily look like the coronal mass ejections that you see that get photographed by the telescopes. It may be something a different color. It may be something that looks different in the way it presents itself. Presentation is what you see in here. Okay, you can take that presentation. I can put a what's called a mirror break into this and cause the video to go upside down, sideways, and all that. And that's not what I really want to do, especially to Gail's show. So I don't
I
do
hope
that.
not.
But I'm saying that these things are possible if you know the technology, and I know quite a bit. Okay.
Wow. Okay, next question that I see is, did Drake really say that February 2022 would see the Great Awakening shift?
Yes, I did. And the reason I did was I got the information from some ETs that I've worked with before, and they are very adamant, very staunch, and very absolute in that it is happening this month. Now, that is the transition. It's only the beginning of the fun and games, but it's the beginning.
Okay, the next question is, Trudeau is saying that he has it, the Rona. Does this mean he's under house arrest? I had mentioned that. Um, do you have anything different than what I said, Drake?
No, I don't have any. I don't have anything that so far that's been contradictory in terms of what you've said or the information that's come out. I got the same information up there. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay. Cool.
you
Yeah.
know
So
if
that
it's house
testing
arrest,
positive does mean that there's been a confession and a deal. That's what I got for that code.
yeah, okay.
Okay. So
Have a
anyway.
chance to come back after the worldwide attitude. uh,
Okay. Oops.
he might
Does
he might come back, but one of those air horns is liable to be going. Woo, woo.
Yeah, the question was for others that didn't know what you were answering. Says, did Trudeau even have a chance to come back after the worldwide attention that Canada has gotten? So he ran and hid, is what he did, and rightly so. People were pretty upset with him, and well, that's funny. We'll see what
Still want 3D will
music
go.
goes.
Uh,
Um,
uh, uh,
okay, that is that a question or is that just a
I don't
statement?
know what that is. You read it and tell me.
Okay. Years ago on a show with Tana, she said, those who still want 3D will go to another planet. You said now everyone will go. So which is it?
Okay, it's pretty simple. They won't. There are planets available for populations that want to disagree, and that's basically what that is about. The thing about what Tanai said, you want 3D, they'll put you on a ship and sail you around. Um, now I say everyone will go. Well, everybody that's in the solar system, now bear this in mind, anybody that hasn't left goes, bugs, everything. So now I'm just to be honest with you, I'm not sure that cockroaches are going. I hope
What
not.
about mosquitoes?
No, mosquitoes are worthless. All they do is suck your vital fluids and feed their babies with it.
Mm,
Well, that's what they are. They're bloodsuckers.
yeah. Well, I thought
Yeah,
you were going to call them parasites, and I said, gee, that sounds just
they
like
are
our
a form of
congressional
parasite.
people.
Well, they're a form of parasite, but they're not what they call a indigenous parasite, one that lives on you or in you. This is more or less one that bites you,
They're an
fills up
insect
the tank, and then
vampire.
flies away. So, you know. And
Okay.
and another little nice thing: the bugs that you've been known to have a big stinger, and it wants to stick it in your ear or something, like a hornet or whatever. That's supposed to go away. No more stingers.
Okay. Okay, the next question is, the sky is luminous in the dead of night without a moon. Is that the energies of the event?
Um, Luminous in the dead of night without a moon. Yes and no. The applications of the energy are such that you can get a turn on in terms of the light. You can get a turn on similar to that of the aurora borealis or northern lights. So there's a whole bunch of, like I said, it'd be entertaining. I mean, get some popcorn, just sit back and watch.
Okay.
If I find out exactly when it's coming, I'll get the popcorn made, and I'm gonna have the wife and I, and we're gonna turn the TV off and open the front windows and watch. It ought to be a fantastic show.
All right. Next question. Queen Romano, what is your perspective on that? Queen
Where's
Romano
this
from
at?
Canada. This is in Canada. This woman has, I don't know how this appointment came about, but she's claims to be
Drag
supported by
racing
Trump and
cars?
claims to be a
Yeah.
queen in Canada. So I don't know how she got
No,
into that.
no, no. A lot of people are going to try to assume authority, position, rank, and all that crap. It ain't happening. Most people have already designated themselves as being either in service or not. That's the defining point. Okay.
Hmm.
In other words, somebody that says, I'm the great mucky muck and thou shalt. Well, guess what you can do with yourself? that's, that's according to these. So, see, some of these ETs have assisted other solar systems in their transition. They're familiar with it, and that's why I say these things. It's not my information; it's theirs. So, you know.
That's okay. Sam, I am. That's cute. Said I'm running on 4 hours of sleep and I'm supercharged. I have to say, I had some feelings that a couple of days ago. I was wide awake all night. I could not fall asleep. I thought I was going to be dead tired the next day, but I wasn't. So it was really bizarre. That's very unusual for me. So anyway, next question. Gail, ask Drake if the event is between today, February 2nd, and February 22nd, which I know there's a portal that's
Well, it's supposed to be um, somewhere around the 15th, so that'd put it sort of middle ways. That's as close as I can get to a date. These people won't talk to me, and I have tried to infiltrate their minds, and they won't let me in there either. So I'm just kind of stuck.
well,
And then
we people always want dates, but you can't give dates because that changes things too. It just
yeah,
anyway.
there, everybody has certain limitations. In human form, I have a lot of limitations. In my original form that I incarnated from, I don't have very many at all. And I'm just kind of waiting, I'm like everybody else. I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to go. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, okay.
Get the
The
camera, man.
the next question Carol has is the event or the transition.
They're
Like,
both the same thing.
okay.
Now you understand that one.
Okay. Okay, what is the strangest ET Drake has ever met? The
Uh,
blob. I bet it was a blob, right? I
well,
remember.
it's not actually a blob. It's more like a great big amoeba. When I
Yeah,
say
I
great big,
remember. Yeah.
when I say great big, I mean that the thing, the cross section of it would be it'd be about the same size and configuration as a football field, only it's in 3D. They are a beautiful race of individuals, and there are hundreds of them involved in all this. I saved them from a disease. It was a combinational thing, and so they became the great Drake herd, whatever that implies. And I don't know if anybody has seen Ghostbusters, but there was a certain entity on there that was called Slimer. He was prolific. He was super slimy. Your inside of your ears, up your nose, everywhere. You'd have slime oozing out of things for a while. Anyway, um, these guys are similar to that in the respect that if they give you a hug, you get hugged. You get a squish. So I took off before they got a chance to hug me, and I told a friend of mine that they should go over and see what they wanted, and they give him a big hug. He still cleans the slime off of him.
Yeah, I don't like slime much myself, but
And that last
anyway.
that was
can you
almost a year and a half ago, so that give you an idea.
can you tell us how
Those are
many
the string
clones
DTs.
are the world? Can you tell us how many clones are there worldwide?
No, you've got manufacturing facilities hidden away in different places that nobody has uh, addressed recently. Now, we did special ops and we did destroy a couple of factories and a couple of holding pens and things of that nature. Whether it did any good, I don't have a clue.
Hmm.
But it was in some ways kind of messy. These are a copy, a biological copy of us. And what they do is they take the original, if possible, and hang him on a wall and use his memories and character traits to guide the clone to be as near the original as possible. Uh, they've had a variety of people, and you've heard it in whatever kind of news there might be. Oh, they hung them. Oh, they were executed, and the very next day, or even while that's coming out, you see them walking around. Well, that's clones, and therein lies the problem.
Yeah,
Or
especially
some
for
of
the public who doesn't know
or
any of this.
it's supposed to be addressed, and the ETs don't want to do anybody any harm. These are feeling entities like us. They can, sense of smell and a whole bit. Uh, so, in terms of being nice, that's good. Depends on on what it depends to me on what the intent and purpose of the clone is, what it's supposed to be doing, as to whether or not it survives. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's ET's business more than mine.
Okay, you're being challenged by a question. I don't know if you don't want to
Oh,
answer it, feel free not to answer. And that is, has Drake heard from Neil Keenan?
yeah.
Okay. I don't know where else we're supposed to go with that. So,
Yeah.
if,
Well, if you're a member or you involved, you go to neilkeenan.org or something like that, and just put Neil Keenan in. He's got a website and all that, and he does exposés of different things.
Mhm. Okay, well, yeah, I've heard a lot of different things. So, anyway, um, okay.
Oh boy,
Somebody wants to know when the program's going to stop. The you know what
I know who's
program
going to
is.
stop.
Well, right now I'm just referring to this as the program,
Oh,
so we can stay on our our censored platforms because we
well,
are on them.
they will probably stop when we get to the point of transition and after. In other words, you figure a period of I don't know, a few weeks after the transition takes place, and then there won't be a need for us to try to bring somebody to the awareness state of being awakened, because the ETs will do that, and the transition and other things. So I'm going. I got a couple classes I got to take. One is flight engineering of one of the spacecrafts they've designed, and another one is oh boy, I'll try to make this easy. Heavy duty physics. We'll leave that at that. Okay.
Well, everything's quantum now, so it probably wouldn't hurt to have some additional background in physics, no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, Drake, what is the real story or truth about the blue blood in aristocracy? In the
They call it blue blood. Blue blood for a variety of reasons, mostly physical. And the ideology is philosophy dealing with blue blood. Okay, and that's supposed to be aristocracy. The only problem is that a lot of us have some of that in us, so that means that there are a whole bunch of the people they don't want to associate with, for sure. Some of them, I don't want to get any of that on me. And so and my show is going to cover some of this stuff. You're going to like it, I think. But the thing about it is that um, we like to put a simple handle on things for description, like cabal or whatever. And when people understand what's going on and how it really works, then they can get into it much more deeply. And that's part of what this coming show I've got Saturday that is supposed to enlighten a bunch of people about things.
Okay, so are you giving us a teaser here on my show?
Yeah, well, I can't look. It's the same kind of deal. We both are challenged by ET to put out the information necessary to get people going the right direction, to get their mind right, to allow them to be able to see what's really going on. Okay, Everybody's heard about the veil. You pull that back.
Yeah, sure.
Well, man,
Behind the curtain, yeah.
Yeah, it might be Dr. Oz. You don't know who it might be. Anyway, I'm going to pull the veil back all the way and see how the oligarchs like that.
Well, that should be interesting. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a particular area is going to be in, or what? Like
It's going to cover a whole bunch of things. One of the main things it's going to cover is the how humanity fits into the great scheme of things. You can't just say da 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 and there it is. It don't work. It's not that simple. So the complexity of it will. I'm going to cut through the horse hockey in terms of what people think, what they've heard, and what the bad guys have been telling everybody, to the point that the bad guys won't be able to deal with it. That's what I'm looking at doing for the show.
what is transient meditation that you mentioned in your book? Couldn't find instructions.
Real story of truth.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it so I can read it.
Oh, it's Nora.
What is transient meditation? Yeah, there it is.
That you mentioned in your book. She says she couldn't find instructions.
That's where you are. You actually cause a transitory state between you and your higher self that allows you to travel astrally, among other things. But that meditation is similar to several different kinds, but it's mostly used for preparation to do an astral event, such as going out of yourself, kind of thing. That's what it looks at.
Okay. Was Robert Oppenheimer a Zeta? It's the next question right after that one you just read.
Was Robert Oppenheimer a Zeta? That I'm not of. I haven't got into it to the point where I needed to have an answer for that. Here's how it works. I get answers for situations and whatnot that I need the answers for. Now, I am turned on during this show so that my connections make a valid point. Okay.
Okay. So we're back to another question. Gail, can you ask Drake, has he heard from Neil Keenan lately?
What's this now?
If you care to share that information. It's to ask Drake, has he heard from Neil Keenan lately?
Yeah, about a week ago. If I need to talk to Neil, all I got to do is dial him up. I got a way to get in touch with him, and he's in a transient state that is not good in terms of the position he's in. It'll be worked out. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Neil's got to cover that. I'm not. I don't have authority with Neil in terms of that.
Okay.
A great way to transmit is
Do you know Zora of Hollow Earth?
Do I know who?
Zora. Zorra of Hollow Earth.
I have heard the name, but I have not dealt with that entity directly.
Yeah, I've heard the name too, and I don't know much about him either.
You see, here's how it goes. Okay, you might have somebody that's absolutely in charge, doesn't exercise the power to do so, and yet they just simply coordinate the things so that they come out right. That may be what the situation is.
Okay, the next question here is, why were fences put up around the capitals? From Terry Bishop. Did you see that?
Much love, fenced in, so you make examples of it.
Why were fences put up around all capitals?
Oh, well, they're scared of us. They think we're going to come back and visit, and they don't think we're going to be nice when we get there.
Gee, I wonder why.
Sasquatch squish.
I'm not sure what that meant. Anyway, are these arcs that are firing up all over the planet? What are these arcs that are firing up all over the planet? What are they?
Okay. Uh, you have the ark that was built by a certain fisherman, and he made it through the flood with it. These arcs are similar and were built for the possibility that part of the event may go terribly wrong. Well, that's been fixed, so they're firing them up just simply to move people around. It's not difficult when you understand what are these arcs that are in the firewall.
Okay. What about is Washington D.C. really empty or pretty much empty?
Yes, the surface portions are. They're just as they're just as worried and concerned and scared as somebody who's done something wrong and knows they'll be found out. In other words, you've got a lot of paranoia going on, and they think that it'd be safe to hide in the basement. Well, that ain't gonna work. It's just plain isn't going to work. Ooh, Gail of Gaia at protonmail.com. Ooh.
Yes. I need some support. It's all the bills are coming in this month. So anyway.
Now you might do if you have the capability and you've got some contacts, ask the tall whites what's going on in Washington, and they can fill you in with a lot more detail than I can because they're actually there.
Okay.
The Palladians leading the ascension.
That was the next question. I lost my place. Are
Uh,
Pleiadians leading the ascension? Let me, say them and then you can.
yeah, well, no, nobody leads the ascension, and it's not an ascension; it's a transition. Ascension implies you got to give up your biological life in order to get there, and this is not what this is. The transition does more than the ascension because you're still alive. You got memories. Woo! Some of them good, some of them I don't know. Anyway, it's a deal where the Palladians are one of the greater forces in our galaxy at close range. Assyrians, and there's another group I can't think of right off the top. They
Andromedans?
also, huh?
Andromedans?
Yeah, they could be them. I don't remember. It doesn't. There's nothing there when I looked. Anyway, the ideology is that these three races have helped us in the past. They visited or whatever. Ancient Aliens covers that on TV, but the ideology is that they're going to come back for this event so that they can assist us and make sure we don't have problems with it. Just that simple. The ones that
Okay.
helped build specialized gardens, and by that I mean you can grow crops below freezing. Um, Indianapolis has some nasty weather in the wintertime, and it was like, well, it had been in the 20s for a week or two, and uh, I had a friendly lady. She was older, and she lived like next door, one down or something like that. She wanted to know what I was doing out there by the garden at the back of the garage at that house that I had. And I said, oh, I'm growing tomatoes. You can't grow tomatoes in this. Well, come over here and look. And I gave her one that was, well, about that big around, probably weighed a pound or better. Oh, she loved it. Oh. Anyway, you can grow plants as I did in this case, a little bit different than what the uh, Aztec priesthood did, Machu Picchu. But what they did was they used water as a heat sink to pull up to protect plants and to pull up more earth energy. Now, 57.3 degrees is earth temperature. Okay, that's well above freezing. And somebody who uses that, this is where some of your thermal dynamics that they use on houses that don't require a heat system. That's some of what they use. At any rate, um, I grew tomatoes in the dead of winter. She couldn't believe it. She liked the tomatoes. She'd come back over and says, "Have you got any more of those? Yeah, you want another one? Oh yeah, you know." Hey,
Okay.
it's cool. I think
Next question. Will the transition get rid of dementia, COVID, pneumonia, kidney disease, and sleep apnea?
yes.
It will get rid of all that without a med
Yeah.
bed?
The transition readjusts things to where they're supposed to be. Go from there.
Hey, you know what I was thinking today earlier? I was thinking about how that um, messenger product that they're injecting into people, that's a synthetic substance. And I remember when we were talking about clothes during the transition, if they were not natural or um, real, you know what I'm talking about, like cotton or something that is from the earth. Hemp would be even better. Um, but if it's synthetic, like polyester or something like that, your clothing may just disappear. Is that true or is that not true? Is that a lie? Or is that
Um,
BS or sensationalism or what?
Now you're getting technical. Okay, here's how it goes. Um, the things that are not supposed to be here, that were introduced by ETs that did not have our best interests in mind, such as things that sting or bite or whatever that serve no basic purpose. Um, all of that will be taken care of in most part by the transition itself. That blast of light that they're talking about is much more than light. If you take light and look at all of the harmonics involved in light, just from a regular light bulb, it's tremendous. We haven't even cataloged or categorized near all of it. It's like, and I'm gonna call you this. You like this one? Vitamin C. Everybody's heard of it. Well, if you get a dose of true organic, pick it off the tree and eat it kind of vitamin C. They looked into it. Oh, we got the greatest scientists. We're on it. Well, the only problem is that they blew it. They found out that there are 280,000, mark that number, different elements involved in plain old vitamin C, many of which we can't identify because they don't go on the periodic table of elements. Oops. And we'll just leave it there. That everybody and their mother-in-law will be looking that up.
Including me. I will look that one up as well. But it's true that the science of nutrition is very young and very under researched and looked into and realistic in many, many ways. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. Are little kids affected by all of this? And
Well, sure.
how do we explain it to them?
Well, you may not need to. They may recognize it as hey, I want you to meet my tall buddy, and they bring in a 10-foot ET. Kids have several things going for them. One, the kids can be not always, but they can be absolutely honest, brutally.
Yeah, brutally. That's a good one.
Hey, Grandpa, you got hair growing out your nose. I said, yeah, I've been pulling them out, and they'll notice a little thing. Anyway,
I'm so glad you noticed.
yeah, thanks a lot. That's what I needed. If a child looking through the eyes of a child with that pristine mind full of curiosity is the best way. Moody Blues has said this is the best way for us to be. If a child needs to know something, they can discern it. It comes with the territory of being a child. Now, a lot of people have stated that there's problems with the adults. Well, those problems are learned. They're not the original. You ever hear that little still small voice? Don't do that. Your little conscience saying, that's not the way it's supposed to be. So you might want to try a different take on it. Well, these are the same kind of things that children are known to be fully infected with. Okay?
Well, that's why they tell her to be childlike or to nurture
Well, you
your.
don't have to, if you, it's like technology. You want a good lesson? Kids are no. Get grandkids over here so they can fix our phone and this and that. Okay, well, guess what? We won't be explaining it to them. They're going to be explaining it to us. It's nothing to worry about, or whatever it may be.
Alrighty then, let's see. Next question. Will the
Yeah.
transition get rid of the need for Western medicine? Will people be automatically cured from disease?
Not fully automatically. There's some things that's going to have to be specially attended to, but um, Western 21st century medicine has been talked about by Dr. McCoy on Star Trek uh, being a butcher routine, which it largely is. We don't seem to accept the fact that there are natural occurring substances known as supplements that can take care of just about every kind of condition you can get. And until we recognize that and start using all this stuff that God gave us, I put the plants in the field there for you to eat a leaf from. What's the matter with you? What's wrong? Hey, hello. Well, we've got some ways to go. Now, the transition will help with a lot of that mindset that says, oh, that's got to be bogus. You can't just eat the bark off a tree and the pain goes away. Yeah, where do you think aspirin comes from? Oops. I mean, it
The
just goes
willow tree,
on.
yeah. Okay, Carol says, Drake, I have been seeing manifesting spaceships for over 2 years. When will they come down and meet me in person? No, I am a friendly earthling.
Okay. After the transition, everybody can get to meet some ETs. They'll be uh, plodding around in a yard, playing with a dog or something, possibly. I mean,
Okay, here's one that's kind of interesting if you're ready for it. Is Mr. T just pacifying us while we are led to the slaughter? He sure as hell isn't doing
No.
anything except talking. I have recently lost faith in him.
Yeah. Well, that's true of everybody. You're going to find a lot of people. We got a talk show going on right now. I'm giving you information that other people don't, but that doesn't really matter until you take action. The action
Yeah.
comes, the action and the recompense, the reconciliation, the uh, uh, writing of the ship of state, and all that sort of thing happens after the transition. Government will be totally simplified, and by that I mean take about 90% of it, chop it off. Don't need it. Why? People can handle their own affairs much better than some oligarch. That's going to be on my show.
Yeah, it's hard for people to envision some of this, but so much of it is so necessary.
Yeah.
We And they'll, I think as people get more information, as they're willing to, if they have to hear it from other people but because they don't do their own research, they will, everything will make so much more sense to them about why
Yeah.
things are done the way they have been done. I just feel very strongly about that. There's things that we just don't know and that just can't be said.
Yep.
And but every once in a while, I think everybody has those moments of,
Well, just bear in mind one thing.
are they screwing me with us again? Because,
People are generally stupid, and people recognize that fact, and that's why you got to do your multiplication and addition tables over and over and over. Just that simple. So you're going to have to hear this stuff over and over and over. They'll tell you if you're lacking in some certain area. ET, your guides will tell you, okay, you need to go back and study chapter 4329 in the second book or whatever, and go from there.
okay, Drake, I see the next question is where somebody's asking where they can find your blog talk radio show. Can you tell that?
Yeah, you put Blog Talk Radio in your search engine and put my name in, and I'll come up.
Yeah, thank you, Fishbait. He put it down Blog Talk Radio at 3 p.m. Saturday.
That's right. 100 messages there with the Restream chat.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness, what was that? Did
Oh,
you still
it's
want to
just
plug
sending
again?
me. No, that's just a notification that should be shut off, but it's not. I don't know. Um, okay, here's one for you.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Drake. I saw a show about vampires that said they are real, and they found many of them in caves in Arizona. The police said they found some dead kids with their blood drained. Now,
Yeah.
vampires, in Arizona, I don't want to hear that. I mean, I thought they were off in Transylvania.
Vampires are very real. They're all over the place. They will be attended to. The ones that there's Arizona police, I doubt knows how to kill them. If you don't know how to kill them, then the professionals should be called. But
Vampire Busters? Is that something like
yeah, well,
Ghostbusters?
I ain't got one of them silly looking cars with all the sirens and funny stuff in there. So really
Boy, oh
jump
boy.
on. Keep them.
Let's see. Well, okay. Well, we really jump on different dimensions. I could keep my pants on. So, Drake, what didn't happen on the 1st of February? A big freak nothing?
Well, I was hoping. Okay, that was me, not ET. ET didn't say that they do it on the 1st of February. They said it would happen during February, and some people have gotten some dates and a few other things. So um, a big freaking nothing. Well, no. You can, if you're sensitive, you can feel the energies. I'm getting tremendous flows of energies, and they're of
So is my
a
imagination.
spirit or energies that are found in the spiritual realms, and they're big. This is not little. We had one event where we had a wave that went through. That was to align some things, and it was pretty fun. So,
I'll go back to
what
next
is
question.
this? Oh boy.
It is what it is.
I like that. I like that next question up. Removal of the gold.
Yeah, that's a good one. Where did it go? I lost it. Will the gold affect the vibration of the planet, the removal of it? Did you hear that?
Which one was it? Was that Terry
I'm trying
Bishop?
to find it. Yeah, I'm trying to find it again. I lost it somehow. But basically, the question was about the gold. They removed gold from the planet and asked if that
Yeah,
affected the vibration of the planet.
not really. It's up to us to raise our intentionally raise our vibration. If you go and meditate, you close your eyes, you turn the noise off, you turn the lights down to almost nothing, you can raise your vibration. It may not be very much, but you will raise it. The more you practice that, the better you get at it. And one time or another, you're going to be able to raise it up to a point where the flash bulb goes off. Poof! Oh, I'm here. I did it. Yeah. Or whatever.
Yeah, and Thomas said the Earth has enough help. What helps her is raising our own vibration.
That's what I just told everybody.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Okay, Drake, can you tell us what is going on inside and outside of the White House, I believe?
There's a lot of things going on. The White House is due to be, oh boy. Let's put it this way: the exterminator's coming. And I can't put it any more succinctly than that. There are a whole bunch of people that are going to have serious problems. And by that, I mean serious, both physical and mental problems. And they're going to be pretty much taken out. Now, I don't mean executed, I mean taken out of their position simply because they are not doing what they're supposed to in that position. Now, inside and out, well, Pelosi, and that was in an article I read in one of my magazines that I read regularly, thinks that insider trading is perfectly fine so long as it's only Congress and Senate that does it. Well, no, baby cakes, it's illegal, and you're going to be lucky to get off with just returning the wealth that you made from it. When you make hundreds of or several, tens of millions, off of information that you get from knowing that a certain thing is going to happen a certain way. That's insider trading, irrespective as to how you look at it. It's illegal no matter who does it. So consequently, there's a big push right now to get rid of the availability of them to do so. Now they do have a law, but it is very weak and it's very minor fines and things like that. If they take that law and apply it correctly, it will literally take all of the gained assets away from these people, which needs to be done. And I'll leave it there.
Yes, it does need to be done. What differentiates an incarnate from a starseed?
An incarnate volunteers for the program to be inserted into a human form. A starseed is born with certain attributes that normally, whether you're incarnated or not, people don't have. Starseed, you're the seed of the entities who live in the stars, supposedly. I've talked to some star seeds that don't make no sense at all, but that's just me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I got trouble here, and I don't know.
Okay, is Klaus Schwab a Zeta Reticulan?
Is who did what?
Is Klaus Schwab a Zeta Reticulan? The one who wears the Star Wars
Charles Schwab is an idiot.
Yeah, I agree.
And the reason I say that is because the only thing he offers is the tax help when he could offer more.
Well, he said we will own nothing and be happy. That's his famous line.
Well, there you go. You're dealing with a falsehood. Taxes are false, whether anybody likes it or not. Just to be honest, we're not going to have that problem
anymore. Somebody asked, will you and Drake remain with us after their transition? I guess that will be seen. Okay, will religion go away after the transition?
Yeah, because it'll be explained what it is.
It'll be exposed, right?
Yeah. When my granddaughter was 3 she said to her mom, me is a healer. Okay. She grew up to be a healer. Cool. Remain with us after the transition. Yes, we'll be here. Now, I won't guarantee exactly what form. It may be in person and it may not be. But yes, we'll be here. Will religion go away? Well, it's going to be.
We did that one already, I thought. But anyway.
Okay. The idea of religion, you can look through any text that you can find. I don't care what it is, and the religion ain't in there. Think about that. I don't believe that the gods that had these things written wanted somebody to feel obligated to fill a collection plate.
All right. Drake, will we go back to common law?
It's a different kind of law. It's a combination of statute law and common law, in such a sense that anybody that reads it can understand it without a problem. And it tells exactly what is what.
Common sense law.
I think we'll like it.
So back to common sense law, common.
Well, it's
not monetarily based law.
Do you know what common law is?
It's pretty common.
It goes by the precedent.
I have an idea.
It goes by the precedent set by the rulings of individual courts, and it's a compilation of that. And they bring it in, define it, refine it to where it's not too gobbledygooky, and make it a law. Okay, statute law is something that is made up for the purpose of continuing the falsification of legality.
And generating revenue mostly.
Well,
Yeah.
that's on the side. We don't pay attention to that too much. Nothing to see there.
Yeah, that's the way they like it, but that's not the way I see it. Anyway, okay. Okay,
Uh,
it's not just the common law. I think what we have to be concerned about here too is constitutional law and getting
and
there at some
I
point.
like that next one by conspiratory.
We managed just fine for thousands of years before Big Pharma came around, lived longer too. That's
Yep.
for sure.
You eat natural stuff, it does wonderful things. Has ingredients that they don't have any clue as to what it is or even what it does. But it's good for you.
Because they can't patent it, so they
That's
don't.
right. Well, there's several countries right now that are trying to play games and patent plants and a few other things, and there's some people fighting them. 100% right.
If you needed
Right.
it, 100% right. If humanity needed Big Pharma since the beginning of time, we would be extinct by now. Okay. It wasn't a question. I thought it was going to be turned into
Well,
one.
yeah, but it's a good statement.
Yeah, it is. Okay. The next question is, oh, that's good one. The longer we wait for someone to do our healing process for us, when we have capabilities of doing things for ourselves, but we're never take that responsibility. We'd rather just take a pill and get better. And that's part of the problem too.
You
But
can't
that's part of
survive on Mickey D's no matter what anybody says.
that's part of the programming too. Yes, I agree. Will the NIH CDC be gone and how soon?
Transition. That's how soon. And yes, it'll be gone. The reason being that Centers for Disease Control, if there ain't no diseases, they're out of business. National Institute of Health, what kind of health are they propagating? They're trying to
Yeah,
tell
really.
you they're trying to tell you you got to get the jab. Well, you can stick the jab where in your own behind.
Yeah, and you got to take a test when you don't have any symptoms. When did
Yeah,
when did this go on anyway? That's crazy. It's all been crazy. Well,
Jim Coogan.
everybody asks about Kim Gogan. And can direct contact her. What for?
Yeah,
Um, will the transition help us remember things that we were forced to forget, such
yes,
as abductions, SSP, anything that
yeah,
was erased from our mind?
yeah,
Oh, people were they totally memory wiped you? Will that come back too?
yes.
It will. Okay. So that's only a temporary procedure then.
Yes. Well, they would like you to believe that it is not a temporary procedure, that it is a permanent one. Okay. A lobotomy is permanent. And if you haven't done that, you're good to go.
Hmm.
And even
Okay.
if they have done that, they can still fix it.
Fantastic. Okay. Silver bullet.
Silver bullet.
Kim, Kim, that's for killing the vampire, isn't it?
Something like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Kim Gogan is MK Ultra. Well, we don't know that. So, um, do you have to drive a stake into their hearts?
No.
Okay. Now someone else, Baja Girl is saying Kim is deep state, MK Ultra. See that?
Yep.
Did you say yep?
Yes, I did. You got to read the one above it too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the blue thing keeps coming on. Kim Gogan stated that she has been cutting off large corporations from their own banks as of the last day. How much longer do you think it will take before they can bring in the basic income for us?
You're talking to transition.
Let's see. I'm looking for the next question. Where can I find Drake's show? Why don't you, again, we said it once already, but I guess you can say it again if you need to. Blog Talk Radio on
Yep.
Saturday. Drake
Yep.
Bailey at 3 o'clock Eastern Time has a
Yep.
talk show.
Yes.
So,
Now you can go to Cosmic Voice, our Facebook page, my Facebook page or whatever, and find all of the a whole bunch of the shows and stuff. Okay. Gold creates a planet. Not exactly, Norma.
Let's see. What? I heard the gold should be returned to the planet. Gold creates a planet. I never heard that before.
I've heard it before, and it's bogus.
Was the Freedom Truck Rally on ley lines of the Earth, which was a good ley line for harmony?
To some extent, they do. Some of the roads follow those ley lines, and yet many don't. So it depends. It depends on how aware the rally is.
Well, would you explain to us more what you know about ley lines and why that and how that would be important and how that would work?
That'd take about 4 or 5 hours. Um, ley line, a ley line, a ley line is a straight line that is an energy type, and it connects nodes. A node is a cross point. In other words, right in the middle of that, where that crosses, would be a node. Some have up to 10 ley lines coming together. Ley lines connect all of the places that are considered holy spots. You find churches on a bunch of them. The thing about ley lines is that uh, the Great Pyramids are connected. The reason they are is that the ley lines, and this is a real mind blower, is part of what's called a planetary energy grid. Now, you remember Nikola Tesla and his Wyckoff Tower, and he was going to broadcast free electricity everywhere. And he experimented, and 20 some miles away, the light bulbs all lit up in the field. Okay, that was what was going to happen. Now, what we're going to have are very high level energy storage devices. We call them batteries. This ain't exactly a battery, it's more like an atomic device. At any rate, to give you an example, a replicator, simple replicator, is about the size of a toaster oven, can fit, can outfit a house with electrical power for about 100 years, plus being used as a replicator. So the types of energy that we have been making use of is it can be changed. My energy device uses different energy than a replicator.
So if everybody's going to have a replicator, that's a lot of replicators, right?
Yeah,
So
we got
where are they
one
coming from?
ship full of them.
Where will they be coming from? I mean, will they have to be
Upstairs?
made here on the Earth?
No, well,
No.
they can be, but upstairs primarily. The first batch of them would be coming from upstairs.
Oh, okay.
What's nice is that they can replicate things like if your alternator screws up on your car, you can uh, put it in the replicator and program the replicator, and you will be taught how to do this in such a fashion that you will repair what's wrong with it and produce a new one, brand new one. So, and you can do guns, you can do ammo, you can do gold, you can do silver, you can do dollars, you can do just, I'd rather have a T-bone steak, but that's just me.
Okay,
Now, the
somebody has
grocery,
mentioned twice
yeah, go
about
ahead.
a second sun. Do you know anything about that?
What's this now about a second
Second
sun?
sun, yeah.
The second sun doesn't exist. That's like Nibiru doesn't exist. When you get a bunch of people believing something, you can actually cause it to have physical properties. That doesn't mean it's real, but you can cause it to have physical properties. When everybody got off of Nibiru and quit playing with themselves mentally, it went away. I don't know if you noticed that. Where did it go? Oh, okay. Now we got the second sun that came up It didn't last very long, and it got less attention than Nibiru.
They had pictures of it.
Well, it's a reflection, a harmonic reflection of the sun. It's not real, not on a physical sense.
Okay. Well, Christine says that I heard that China is putting out another man-made sun. Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah, they're trying to look like they're all that one or not. the
Okay.
the idea is that he who has the technology to do such things is superior. I'll cover that on my show. You just wait. That's going to be a show that everybody's going to remember.
Well, isn't that what some of the ETs did many years ago? Is they enjoyed being worshipped, and people worshipped them because they had technology.
Yeah,
Uh,
they used to think they were gods. You take a poor shepherd, somebody that's never seen any more technology than a shepherd staff. What are you going to get? You're going to get people with wings and all kinds of things. Just that simple.
okay.
Manufactured prism, son.
Mercury goes direct tomorrow.
That'd be fun.
That should be interesting. Yeah. How many praying mantis species are there? Do you know?
Uh, if you want to get into the basic mantis genome, you got about five. Now, you take that and use that five as an exponent, use whatever you get in the way of a number as an exponent for the original number. That'll give you an idea as to how many. Mantis is very common, and um, you'd be amazed. You're going to be surprised how many.
Wow. Okay, next question. Will the White House be blown up by the rods of God?
No, those things are fictitious in their own right. They don't have the um, the rods of God are from ET. They're similar to what made the Sahara Desert, if you think about it and if you know about it, and created the Vaseline glass that's found everywhere under the sand. So now you know.
Okay. Everybody says that Kim is controlled by the deep state. So,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
MJ Gene Decode has said as much. The second sun that people have seen is our 5D sun that will replace the fake one, according to Gene Decode.
yeah. Well, when we get to 4D, we'll have a 4D. When we get to 5D, we'll have a 5D. When we get to 6D, we'll have a 6D. On and on it goes.
Okay. Right from the North Pole to the South is 8,000 miles. Okay.
Yeah, Reynolds offering information, not asking questions.
Yeah. Okay. Will the revaluation of currency coincide with the transition, or will currency altogether go away?
Eventually, it'll altogether go away. We're not. You have to understand that the idea is to do away with monetary designations. Go to exopolitics.org, to that website, and it's got the full explanation there.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard for people to wrap their heads around that concept.
Yeah.
Okay. The med beds are a stopgap until we come into our real power. So we're taking baby steps. I guess that was a comment too.
Well, that's until the biospheres are up and running, ready to go. They can put about 1 million people pop through the biospheres, which takes in our time about 2 to 4 hours. And so you can cram quite a few basket cases into that area.
Well, that's pretty fascinating because why a biosphere just seems to make so much more sense than individual med beds. But
Yeah.
there's been a big push about the med beds, but nobody seems to know a whole lot about the biospheres or when they're coming or where they will be or what have you. So anyway, how long will this convoy in Canada take to straighten things out? Who knows that one? Take your best guess, Drake.
Well, no, it's not a question of them straightening things out. What they wanted to do was to bring to the forefront the knowledge that this is not something they'll put up with. It's not something that's legal because it's contrary to the Constitution. And Trudeau needs to take a hiatus to Timbuktu land in order to protect himself.
Okay. Um, Oops, was that a question there? Okay. Will ivermectin be sold over the counter soon?
Yes,
Actually,
eventually
yeah.
it'll be
A-
adjusted in terms of what it is.
yeah. Well,
See?
actually, there's the horse variety, and
Well, boy.
anyway, Drake, has Satan come down himself to portray himself as creator or Jesus?
No, because Satan. The problem with it is that this fits into religion. That word I told you isn't in any of the texts, and I mean none of them. Uh, you have to understand that Satan was the light bearer. Now, if God is light and in Him is no darkness at all, I wonder who it was who was carrying the torch. Would it have been Satan? Well, it might be, but the idea that you can have fallen angels, no, they're not fallen. They came down purposely. Ooh, look at that lady! Wow, man, she got some nice doogies on her. I want to see how that works. Okay, and what happened was the idea that uh, gods can cohabit with people took a pretty hard hit. You remember the Great Flood? Mm-hmm. Kim is
Oh,
hyped up my
interesting.
buddy.
Okay. Remember, don't stop listening until you really get the
Oh,
message.
oh.
Kim selling health insurance. Uh-oh.
Well,
Um,
I'm seeing a good one from Haunted by Numbers.
yeah, 100 monkeys on a truck, 100 monkey effect, science proving critical mass. It was a signal. Really? Wow, that's interesting.
It's sort of a warning as to what they're fooling with now.
Hmm. Well, there was the woman who had um, been near one of the monkeys or something like that. I don't remember exactly her contact, but she was in contact and she had some health issues as a result.
Yeah.
So hmm, who knows what they were? Yeah. Okay. Drake is the Big Dipper. Is the Big Dipper where Bigfoot lives?
No,
Okay.
Bigfoot lives here.
Okay. Candid says Satan has been masquerading as benevolent figures for millennia.
Yeah. And his greatest trick was getting everybody to believe he didn't exist. Well, I looked it up, and Satan is real, but the devil and all the rest of it isn't.
Okay, well, we remember our past incarnations.
Some there's a special class on that.
Hmm, okay.
Little Bob will
Well,
be the first arrest. Oh my!
well, you okay? Will he be the first arrest?
I think
There
that
you
boy
are.
will be sent back in time to the days of the old South when they used bullwhips a lot and clanked around in chains. He best. I would tell that boy to run. I
Well,
don't care.
treason on steroids. So, yeah. Um,
No.
Is Antarctica an ice ring that separates inner space from outer space?
No, not really. You can go through that big hole. It looks like a depression, but it never ends. It goes down into inner Earth, and the people have problems with the idea that the Earth might be hollow. They have problems with it in terms of the uh, moon being hollow. They purposely crashed a spaceship into it, and it rang like a bell for about 4 hours.
Hmm.
Now you know it is a an observatory and staging platform for things.
Wow. Okay, another question. My sister had a steel rod put in her spine in her teens for scoliosis. At 50 years old, she became rather crazy and hateful. Any help coming for her?
Everybody that's got an affliction will be cured of it. Doesn't matter what it is. You got an arm or a leg or something blown off in a war, they'll regrow it for you. That's why the biospheres are so super intense.
How does that help, or does that help in any way, the different psychological problems people have?
Well,
Depression, ADHD, ADD. Some of these things were caused by the jabs, but we won't go there. But will those things be corrected as well?
yes, that's part of the psychology of it.
So, okay, so yeah. So mental issues or mental problems, mental diagnoses, which are based on symptoms only, would actually be corrected. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Why was the Space Force created?
Why was it created? Because we had to feel like we were superior, and we're not. We're not even equivalent, and yet we got a space force, and we got a cigar ship, and we got things like that going on.
All right, thank you, Irina. Lots of very good show, lots of good news. February looks like the month of healing, going free from deep state, I hope. New
Yeah.
world, 10,000 years of peace. God help us all.
Yeah. Well,
We'll be
lots
there
of good
soon.
news. February looks like the month
Yeah,
of healing,
that's what I
going
just
free
read.
from deep state. Yes, that too. Now you have to understand something. Some of this technology is not something they're going to just trust anybody with. They're going to keep some of it under wraps until such time as we should individually show that we can handle it. So
Okay. Is there a portal outside of Calgary, Alberta, where the truckers went through?
no, the truckers didn't go through a
Portal.
portal.
Okay. Would you buy a car now or wait till? When would you wait till?
My wife and I are satisfied with the equipment that we got. So I doubt that we'd buy anything.
I think she's meaning for would you if you have something, it'd be better off keeping it than buying it now or wait or whatever.
Well,
That was my feeling anyway.
okay. The deal with vehicles is simple. If you maintain them correctly, you're going to get a lot of good use out of them. A lot more than what the car manufacturers want you to. Uh, my truck runs better than a new one, so I'm not going. There's no way I'm going to replace that. My wife has a Jeep, and it's a Compass, which means it's a little bit noisy. But she hadn't had any trouble. Well, I mean, we had a foot of snow, and even though it was plowed, we didn't have any trouble. She just pushed a little button, and it goes in 4-wheel drive, and she goes motor home.
Okay.
So,
Drake, out of
yeah.
7 billion people, are there 2 billion humans and the rest are hybrids?
No, you got in hybrids. you've got probably 10 million, and that's on a global basis. We do things to situations and people and whatnot to try to get things going the right way.
Oh, somebody voiced a concern that landfills will be overloaded with people's trash if they can just replicate unlimitedly. But there's probably an answer for that too, though, right? Can
Yeah, well, they got a recycle button on the uh, replicators. What you do is you hit recycle, and it puts the energy back where it came from.
okay. Will there be a limit put on the volume of stuff one can make with a replicator? Otherwise, some people will go crazy making stuff.
Yeah, well, there's some things that it won't do you any good to make, such as gold and silver or something like that. So you have to bear in mind what you're doing and um, the volume of stuff. What are you going to become a Walmart of replicators? And hey, look at what I got now. Okay. Some will go crazy making stuff. Well, I don't see how that's going to work for the simple fact that everybody else has got a replicator of their own. They don't need your stuff that you're replicating.
Hmm.
Very
Yeah,
simple,
that
isn't
can
it?
solve a lot of problems. One of the reasons that people can, steal or what have you is due to finances and things like that. And if you have something like that, you won't need it. You won't have to do that. This system was created this way on purpose. Gene Decode and a lot of others have many pictures of the second sun in recent years.
Well, you can take pictures of things that don't exist, in the material realm. That's been being done for ever since photography came out, basically.
Are our DNA strands being repaired with the energy coming to this planet? And will we have the ability to utilize 0 point energy on demand? You see that? That's from
Uh,
Robin. Robin Verna.
well, we're going to be doing a little bit different kind of thing than 0 point energy. DNA strands are going to be reconnected. The ones that are like this, they'll be reconnected. A lot of the so-called junk, and I use that word loosely. The junk DNA is not junk at all.
Never
And
was.
when we realize what it does, and ET repairs it, boy, the fun begins.
Yeah, that one will begin. Gotta make junk. Okay. Galen Drake, are the giants coming back to fight us? And do they live in the mountains now all over the world?
No, not really. We're going to have a good relationship with the Anunnaki eventually. Uh, Bigfoot won't be wanting to tear us up simply because just because they don't want us around does not necessarily mean that they have exclusive rights to any portion of the planet. That'll be explained to them so that they can understand it. Their intelligence level is a lot higher than people give them credit for. They're not a big stupid ape. um, if you take the idea of advancement and extrapolate it or expand it, you'll find that advancement means raising of the intellect. So their intellect will be raised to the point where they can or will be able to vocalize. They won't like it, but they will be able to do that. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Where are we now? Um, who Wait a minute. I heard. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I lost about this. Okay. Are they show up this days in a public way?
Yes. You'll find out that shortly after the transition, and I mean very shortly, they'll turn their cloaking devices off that they've been hiding behind for so many years. So you're going to see a sky full of it. Then there's going to be a bunch of landings. People to get out and say, "Hey, how you doing?" and go from there. After the transition, I say, yeah, go ahead. Well, some people work when well, both of them work in their own ways. Some people are more their system is more accepting of the ivermectin, and some reject it. It's just like the hydrochloroquine. Some can accept and some can reject. Um, we use tonic water, and don't worry about it. No, sucker for ladies with. Oh my. Yeah. Who unleashed COVID? Ah, the Wuhan lab. And Fauci knows all about it. That's all I'm going to say. Yes. I've had several scars that have been with me since I was a little kid, and they've been slowly disappearing. I see a good one. The Bohemian Twin. That's about Q. Which one are you on? It's the one right above Annabelle. Do I know anything about a Q? About Q? Yeah, I got a Q1 clearance, which means that I'm an ET contactee, and that I work with them. I know who Q is and what it's all about. So oh, a couple of weeks, well, 2 or 3. You got a supply chain problem that's not readily able to be fixed. I would suggest a month. You, what's that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you're pretty much totally and completely limited on what's available to you to be able to get something, that would be the way to go. If you're not super limited, I would tell you to tough it out and go for the 2 for 1 or 3 for $1 or whatever. Well, I got my rice and beans at the feed store. It's a lot cheaper. Yeah, you get rice beans. You get rice, beans, oats, all kinds of things at the feed store. Might go down to your local feed store and look around. We got a problem here with some false information. Thomas Lynch uh, come out with a thing about Satan as Lucifer's wing guy. That's wrong. They're two different entities. Um, treat them as such. Then above that, they got yeah. Todd asked a question right above that. Uh-huh. Yes, and that's because a lot of the physicians don't know how to treat them holistically or as a complete entity. Okay, Precambrian period. What? Um, don't, let me interject something, Haley, and that is this: don't confuse somebody who says they know with somebody who doesn't, because most of them don't. They don't have a clue. Most of the sciences, to include things that we supposedly think are real, are simply, oh, it ought to be like this. And that's the way it comes out. Bear that in mind. Transition, replace broken. Yes. No, the transition itself will do a lot of things. Well, now you're getting into a funny little area there. We won't use portals. You will be taught similar to what was expressed in that antique sci-fi movie Dune about traveling and not moving. You'll understand that. Oh boy, this disclosure suppressed it. Well, where is it? That's a bunch of horse hockey that they used for an excuse to get the funding to go do it. Not difficult. If you ever had it, you still got it. You just haven't used it. Uh, it's like any muscle that you don't use, it atrophies and it goes away. Uh, you can play deja vu in your own mind when you learn how to control the reality of your own existence to the extent that you can adjust it. That's a nice one. I don't know. I think we pretty much covered everything. Country music, I'm assuming, yeah. Well, you're probably getting some download. If you want to make it stop, my suggestion would be to put together a Faraday cage. You can look that one up and put it over your bed. Sleep in it. You'll be fine. Is anyone going to make the flying cars? Yeah, it's just that quick. Is it if it not if it doesn't fit in a replicator? ET's doing that for a reason. No. Yes. They're a lot lesser. They're not as prolific as the ones we've got now. They're different. Yes. Um, you don't. Let's put it this way: you don't really need it. Gail, can't hear you. Said this dummy up here. I hear you just fine. So it's not you. It's their equipment. Tonic water. Yeah. Where are we at now? The dog man phenomenon. Um, Go back and look at your Greek philosophy, and it'll explain more of it better than I can. Okay. Too much blood in the water. I'm serious. Yeah. Yes. ET was very emphatic on that. Okay. Yes. Emergency broadcast system. It's already there. They just ain't turned it on and used it yet. Now, Jazzy Jim says tonic water. Yeah, that's right, tonic water. And then somebody right above that says we can't hear Gail. Uh oh. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with your sound. They need to buy a better computer. We get with a happy, peaceful vibe, and I'm trying to people get scared. Yeah. Yes. breaking up and freezing up. They can hear me, but they can't hear you. It's your connect, and you got a funky connection. It doesn't matter what it says it's really doing. It was, ah, yep. Maybe we need to. I would say so. So they say you're muted is what they're saying on here. Well, I hear you just fine. So it's their system, not yours. Ah, boy. It could be now. You got to remember, if these people are on the same platform and the platform don't like something we say, they can turn us off. Per- yeah, personal. Yeah, yeah. Okay. If you can't hear Gail, we decided that we're going to close the show with that and continue next. Huh, and continue next week. Brand new show. Okay. They may have. Well, we'll investigate and see what's going on. In the meantime, bye, y'all.